Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into a topic that's sure to make some people very, very uncomfortable. Countries that rely, perhaps a little too heavily, on the good old US of A. From economic lifelines to military protection that would make a Roman emperor blush, these countries have gotten very, very used to Uncle Sam having their backs. Now, we're not saying these countries don't have their own thing going on, but without the stars and stripes waving in the background, things would get complicated. So buckle up as we explore the fascinating and slightly awkward world of international relations, where dependence on America is the name of the game. Let's be honest, this is going to be interesting. First up, our neighbors to the south, Mexico. Now, before you reach for your tequila and sombreros, let's get one thing straight. Mexico is a vibrant country with a rich history and culture, but, and this is a big but, their economic well-being is rather intricately tied to the United States. We're talking about a trade relationship so intertwined it would make Romeo and Juliet look like casual acquaintances. The US is Mexico's biggest trading partner by a long shot. We're talking billions upon billions of dollars in goods flowing back and forth like a delicious, albeit slightly lopsided, economic salsa dance. Remember those remittances? The money hard-working Mexicans living in the US send back home to their families? Well, that money isn't just helping families, it's propping up the entire Mexican economy. That's not just pocket change, that's the kind of money that can make or break a country. Now imagine, just for a moment, what would happen if that economic umbilical cord was suddenly severed. Next, we travel to the Middle East, a region as complex as a Rubik's Cube dipped in glitter and set on fire. And at the heart of it all is Israel, a nation with a unique relationship with the United States. You see, Israel receives a rather substantial amount of military aid from the US every year. We're talking billions of dollars, folks. Enough to make even the most jaded defense contractor blush. But it's not just about the money. Oh no. The US also provides Israel with something arguably more valuable political support on the world stage. Whether it's at the UN or in international negotiations, America has consistently stood by Israel, often acting as a diplomatic shield against criticism. Without it? Well, let's just say the Middle East is volatile enough as it is. From the deserts of the Middle East, we journey to the land of the rising sun, Japan. Now, Japan is an economic powerhouse known for its technological innovation, its unique culture, and its interesting relationship with personal space on public transport. But beneath its shiny exterior, Japan relies on the US for something crucial: security. After World War II, Japan made a conscious decision to rely on the US for its defense. This means that the US military presence in Japan is substantial, to say the least. Think military bases, troops, the whole shebang. And this arrangement, while perhaps a tad irksome to some Japanese citizens, provides Japan with a security blanket, allowing them to focus on, not building giant robots to fight Godzilla. The US is also one of Japan's largest trading partners, and access to the American consumer market is crucial for Japan's export-dependent economy. Next door to Japan, we have South Korea, a nation that knows a thing or two about living with a rather unpredictable neighbor. South Korea exists in a perpetual state of what if, thanks to its northern counterpart, and that what if is held at bay by, you guessed it, the United States military. The US has a significant military presence in South Korea, a constant reminder to the North that any funny business will be met with, shall we say, a firm response. This security guarantee is the bedrock of South Korea's existence, allowing it to flourish economically and culturally, without constantly looking over its shoulder. The US is also a major trading partner for South Korea, particularly in technology and automobiles. And now we come to Taiwan, an island nation that finds itself in a rather precarious geopolitical situation. China claims it as its own, while Taiwan maintains its independence, leading to a diplomatic dance that's more awkward than a middle school prom. And in this delicate balancing act, the US plays the role of, shall we say, the protective older sibling. The US has committed to defending Taiwan in case of an attack, providing the island with a much-needed security guarantee. This commitment, while perhaps not explicitly stated, is the elephant in the room that everyone pretends not to see. The US is not only a major trading partner, but it also provides Taiwan with the diplomatic and military support it needs to navigate the choppy waters of the South China Sea. Our next stop takes us to the Philippines, a nation with a long and complicated history with the United States. From colonization to military bases, the relationship has been, shall we say, eventful. But even today, the Philippines relies on the US in a number of key ways. The US provides the Philippines with military assistance, training and equipment, helping the country to combat terrorism and piracy in the region. And let's not forget about the good old remittances. Millions of Filipinos work abroad, sending money back home to support their families. Our journey now takes us to Afghanistan, a nation synonymous with conflict and instability. For 2 decades, the United States poured billions of dollars into Afghanistan, funding infrastructure projects, propping up the government, and training the Afghan security forces. It was a Herculean effort aimed at rebuilding a nation ravaged by war. But in 2021, the United States made the difficult decision to withdraw its troops, leaving Afghanistan to fend for itself. The results, as we all know, were catastrophic. The Afghan government collapsed, the Taliban seized control, and the country plunged into chaos. Now, Afghanistan is heavily reliant on international aid, with the United States being one of the largest donors. Next, we travel to Colombia, a nation that has long been synonymous with the drug trade. For decades, Colombia has been plagued by drug cartels, violence and instability, and in this ongoing struggle, the US has played a significant role. The US has provided billions of dollars in aid to Colombia, funding the country's fight against drug trafficking, supporting its security forces, and promoting economic development. Beyond the drug war, the US is also a major trading partner for Colombia, and US investment plays a significant role in the country's economy. So while Colombia has made great strides in recent years, it's clear that the US continues to play a vital role in its stability and prosperity. Our penultimate stop takes us to Honduras, a nation grappling with poverty, violence and corruption. Honduras is one of the poorest countries in the Western Hemisphere, and its people face significant challenges from gang violence to lack of economic opportunities. The US has been a major provider of aid to Honduras, funding programs aimed at strengthening the country's justice system, combating organized crime, and promoting economic development. But despite these efforts, Honduras remains a country in crisis, and its reliance on US support is unlikely to diminish anytime soon. And finally, we arrive in Saudi Arabia, a nation synonymous with oil wealth, vast deserts, and, well, a rather complicated relationship with human rights. Saudi Arabia is a key US ally in the Middle East, but the relationship is fraught with contradictions. The US relies on Saudi Arabia for its oil, while Saudi Arabia relies on the US for military support and security guarantees. The US sells billions of dollars worth of weapons to Saudi Arabia every year, and US military personnel are stationed in the kingdom, but this alliance has often put the US in a difficult position as it finds itself supporting a regime with a questionable human rights record. So there you have it, 10 countries that rely on the US in ways that are both fascinating and, let's be honest, a little bit awkward. These relationships are complex, often contradictory, and always evolving. But one thing is clear: the US plays an outsized role in the world, and its actions, or inactions, have a profound impact on countries around the globe. Now, we're not here to pass judgment on these relationships, but it's important to understand the dynamics at play, the historical context, and the potential consequences of this dependence. Because in a world where alliances are shifting and the global order is in flux, one thing is certain: the price of dependence is always high. If you found this video even remotely informative, or at least mildly entertaining, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.